Nick, you've had a couple weeks to prepare for this role. What have you, I just read this story about, I mean, it's kind of tragic, but Heath Ledger locked himself in a hotel room for a month before the Joker and just kind of went berserk. And that's how he prepared for the role. How have you guys prepared for the role? You want to start, Nick?
Yeah, this has been a different process for this character because it's, you know, it's two parallel worlds and it's a fantasy. It's that theme of swords and fighting and people dying and some people don't die and they come back. It's the whole mystique of it. So it lets your mind take you on a bit more of a different journey. So I'm actually still in the process.
Very nice. And Kayla, how about you?
Oh, well, there's two characters, Annie and Amber. So the preparation is different for each. For Amber, I have to embody an Irish accent, which originally was High British, just recently changed. So that one's been kind of a progression dialect-wise, but trying to find the course of the character and the strength and the weakness as well. And then for Amber, I don't know, so much preparation is just creating past memories so that I can have a foundation to operate from as the character.
Love it. And then, give me 1 second. I almost called you Galen. Nick, would you do a sound check?
You know, it does. Like before, it was like a bit of a fantasy, and I was like, oh yeah, and now it's like
we're in it.
You know what I mean? Especially when they put that fucking hair on. It did. I felt like William Wallace when I saw the mullet. It just feels different.
And what does it feel like?
It just puts another level to the warrior. You just realize how, you know, barbaric and survival. It's very survival. You know, we live in a world where it's not so survival. Things are, you know, pre-planned out and stuff. But when you feel like the story, you realize that in that world, it's pure survival. So.
Interesting. And I remembered when I was going to ask you before, and it has nothing to do with these scribbles. It has to do with your backstories that you mentioned. You both created backstories for your characters, and we heard a little bit of that with John the other day. How did you go about creating those stories for yourselves?
Read the script.
Right. But you read between the lines.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, the writing is so good, and it's so, you know, mystical, and there's so much there to grasp on, and it just lets your mind go to the far off land before the script was written. And there's such an adventuristic type feel. There's so much to go for, you know.
For me, it was actually difficult because Annie's in this dream state, and I had to question how come she doesn't wonder who her parents are. She doesn't wonder what she did a year ago, or how does she know how to use a credit card or what a cell phone is, because she was placed in this world by Galen, and she just puts one foot in front of the other and just follows blindly. So I had to come up with a backstory similar to, I think I said it in the other interview, but similar to the fact that it's like a dream, you know, where you don't question it, you just keep going. So that's the way that I did the backstory for her. And then Amber, of course, was fun, you know, because I could make the backstory since I was a little kid and created like some cool moments with me and my father to develop a relationship.
Awesome. So start with these. Okay, so how much time do you spend every day? I know that you're juggling being a producer on this project. How much time do you spend, each of you, on preparing for your character in the days leading up to production?
Do you know, it's hard to step out of those shoes. Once the thing gets a hold of you, you start looking at everything through a different light because it's running through your blood and it's in you. So it's almost like